Just want to make sure that we give you the adequate resources so you can properly do your job, sir. Chair now recognizes the ranking member for his round of questions.
Now I'm on. I may be off, but on. Mr. Chairman, let me say something kindly. You've indicated you've only been there 20 days. Rarely has somebody gone on the SEC with the kind of experience and inside information about how the SEC works than yourself, with all due respect. You're not a new person on the block to this agency. I want to go to one of the chairman's questions. You're organized by statute. Do you believe you can effect a reorganization on your own, or would you have to come to Congress to do that?
Well, we're, for example, with FinHub, we're coming to Congress to ask for reprogramming of our allocations and our budget. It depends. I have to learn the ins and outs of the budget process as a commissioner. The budget process is vested in the chairman, and so I really didn't have any insight to that. And the budget experience I have goes all the way back to the early 90s, so I'm sure that things have changed here. And so with respect to the SEC, the 15 years that, since I was last there, Dodd-Frank came out, and so huge amounts of processes within the walls of the SEC have changed. The whistleblower system, is very robust, and so that's completely new to me. So there are a lot of aspects to the job that, is just fascinating, and I'm having fun diving into it. But
Well, I
really
appreciate
look forward
your
to it.
recognizing that the Congress of the United States has the authority under Article 1 to set up agencies, approve their reorganizations, and either by rescission, any cuts that might be made to the budget that is passed by the Congress. The budget is, after all, not an advisory instrument. It is a mandatory instrument for the agency. So while you were in my office, and I thank you again for visiting with my office, you mentioned you're conducting a staffing review. I asked you something about staffing at the beginning. What levels of staffing the SEC needs to do in its missions? As I implied in my question, I don't think DOGE had any idea what you needed. I think they had an idea they wanted to produce X numbers from the federal government, just as Musk wanted to cut $2 trillion, which of course he didn't. And I understand from my colleague that he has now decided he's going to return to the private sector and not even contribute money to campaigns anymore. I think he's been burned by what he did, but I don't want the American people burned by what he did. So how long do you think it will take for you to do the study as to what is needed to accomplish your current objectives?
Well, we're working on it, starting, and so I don't have any idea, but I think here in the next few months, as the budget process rolls out, we will be prepared to do it. I think from what I understand from our major divisions, that they have the people necessary to do what to accomplish what they need to do, and so. But I intend to look into that.
Mr. Atkins, I think I recall in reading your testimony that you indicated part of that is to decide whether or not people were let go whose services you needed, and either to hire them back or to hire somebody to do those services. Is that accurate?
Or promote people from within, because there's a lot of good people at the SEC, and for them to be promoted and to be recognized for their expertise, I think is great. It's a great way of rejuvenating an agency. So I think it's positive.
In your study, I would appreciate if you include whether or not people were removed who, in retrospect, should not have been removed because their services were critically important. And when you say, with all due respect, Mr. Chairman, I don't think much of this was voluntary. I have 77,000 federal employees who work for the federal government who live in my district, the largest in the country. The overwhelming majority of them thought they had no options. They were either going to take the Vera, they were going to get riffed, or they were going to get fired. And that kind of alternative, to perceive that as voluntary, I think, frankly, is somewhat Pollyannish, with all due respect. And I think your employees and the employees of the federal government have been treated very, very poorly, very inhumanely, causing great trauma, which, by the way, Mr. Vogt said he wanted to do. He is quoted as saying, I want to, Mr. Chairman, if you just give me a little leeway.
We had a second round of 5 minutes, and, you know, this isn't a question, this is sort of a lecture on a poor man who's been there for 20 years, with all due respect to my dear friend.
Continuing for just a minute, I hope you will bring to leadership as chairman a sensitivity which Mr. Musk and his minions did not bring to their role. They fired people to get numbers, not to get efficiency.
Well, thank you, Mr. Ranking Member. I share your concern about the motivations and the staff working, all the value that they do add. We can't run the place without them. And so among the 600 people who left the SEC, as I mentioned, I know, many of them, and not a huge percentage, obviously, but the ones I know took a voluntary, they didn't feel coerced into doing it. But anyway, I'm sure there are other tales as well.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. The chair now recognizes the gentleman from Wisconsin, Mr. Pocan, for